Okay, here we are at Elvaston Castle, and we're going to have a walk and look at all the trees. Just have a look at the map on the next slide and follow that round. So we start in the car park, and we're going to make our way past through the pine tree and through the yew walk, and then looking at the different trees on the way. One of the trees that we look at first is Parotia persica, the Persian ironwood. Beautiful autumn coloured tree. It's got a lovely wavy margin. If you look at the side of the leaf, there's a nice close-up showing you the lovely autumn colour. Look at amber, Starachiflua. This has got another interesting leaf. If you look at it, it looks a bit like a maple. But the leaves are alternate, they're not opposite. It also smells a bit of turpentine if you crush the leaf a bit and smell it. Here's some snowy mespils. This is the Amelanchier lamarckii. A lovely, just an ovate leaf, and you can see there again, excellent autumn colour, a good choice. This is Quercus rubra. This is one of the American oaks, or the red oak. And although it's called the red oak, it's quite brown, the leaves are. The leaves have got sort of slight incisions or slightly clefted, slightly pointed. They're not as pointed as the scarlet oak, which is what we'll see a little bit later. Moving on, we see Crataegus prunifolia. This is the cherry-leafed hawthorn, which is quite interesting. If you look at the leaf closely, you can see the sort of ovate leaf with a serrated margin. But you can also see the sort of the haws of the hawthorn. And if you look closely also, there is some nasty little spines in the tree. This is Quercus coccinea. What a fantastic tree, the scarlet oak. Beautiful. If you look closely at the leaves, you can see they're much more deeply incised or clefted than the red oak. Much darker, richer colour. Absolutely beautiful tree, the scarlet oak. Then we've got Pinus nigra. This is quite an interesting tree because at the base of it you can see where there was probably some damage to the tip, and it's caused it to send up two leaders which have gone out. It might have been trained back in, but it makes a very interesting tree. This is tar spot on Acer pseudoplatanus, the sycamore. This is a common fungi which you'll see around. Just moving on, we come to Cedrus libanae, this incredible tree with level branches. Think of the L, level branches. On the new shoots the needles are single, but on the older shoots they're in clusters. The wood was used to make the temple in the Old Testament, Solomon's temple. Very, very strong. There's a slightly close-up. Actually, there's the tree's been knocked a little bit. You might be able to see the pollen coming off some of the male flowers. There's another close-up of the Cedrus libanae, showing the clusters there of needles. Then we're going to look at Larix decidua. This is our European larch, beautiful tree which goes sort of golden in the autumn. The cones point upright on this one, as you can see. So watch out for that, because a little bit later we're going to look at Larix kympheri, the Japanese larch, where the scales fold backwards. Moving on to Cryptomeria japonica. This again a very, very hard wood. And the needles of this one are quite sort of owl-shaped and quite pointed, and you can see the cones there. Then we move on, and I think it's difficult to see, but I think it looks like a possible Abies grandies there. If the needles peel cleanly and don't leave a peg, then you know you've got a fir. Also the cones will be pointing upwards, unlike a Christmas tree where they point downwards on the picea. Just moving on, this one you can work out, you can see if you look closely at the leaf that it's a beech, but also looking at that habit, it's pendulous, so the botanical name is Vagus sylvatica pendula. Ibis prostra, this is one of the firs, again lovely blue coloured fir, and you can see the foliage close up there, and that will peel pretty clean if you won't leave a peg on it. Then moving on to the lovely dawn redwood, Metasequoia glyptus stroboides. This is a beautiful tree in the autumn, goes a lovely sort of bronzy colour, and again it's another one good for will grow where there's a high water table. There's a shot of the actual leaves. Remember on this one that the needles of the leaves are opposite, and whereas on Taxodium distichum, which we'll look at later, they are alternate. Also on Metasequoia, look at the bole of the tree. These deep furrows in the bottom are quite beautiful. Lovely sort of bark as well, lovely fibrous bark. Then we move on to Calocedrus decurrens, a sort of an incense kind of tree, very, very upright, takes a very small amount of space. There's a close-up of the leaves, the quite sort of flattened leaves, but nice tree. And then the lovely Acer japonicum aconitifolium, beautiful autumn colour. If you look at this closely, the foliage is just like an aconite. Moving on, this is Taxus baccata fastigiata, one of the Irish yews. This is very common at Elvaston Castle. They use this to line avenues and all sorts of things. Good upright Irish tree. There you can see the berries. The arils inside them are poisonous, but the actual red bits are okay. And that's the yew. Male and female are on separate trees on the yew. Then we've got the Japanese larch. Remember, this one has sort of curved boughs, but there's those needles which we talked about, and they're slightly folded back, so you can tell it's the Japanese larch. Then here's a nice holly. This is Ilex aquifolium bachyflava. This is one of the yellow fruited hollies, which is quite nice. Remember, male and female on separate trees on the holly. And we make our way past Quercus ilex, the evergreen oak, as well. This is a beautiful oak that is ideal in coastal situations. Just moving on, we go past the hedgehog holly. This is Ilex aquifolium ferox argentea. Beautiful with the spikes on the middle of the leaf. Argentea meaning sort of silvery white. And a little bit further down we see a lovely western red cedar, Thuya plicata. If you crush the leaves you get this beautiful pineapple-y smell, lovely pyramid tree.